Welcome to Animal News Column. Myself, Amrutha B., 3rd EC Zoology, St. Joseph's College for Women, Alappuzha. Today, we are going to discuss about African snail. Achantina fulica is a species of world's largest and most damaging land snail that belongs to the family Achantinidae. It is also known as giant African snail. The Global Invasive Species Database has included these snails among the world's worst invaders. Scientific classification. Giant African snail belongs to the kingdom Animalia, phylum Mollusca, class Gastropoda, superfamily Achantinoideae, family Achantinidae, subfamily Achantini, genus Achantina, species Achantina fulica. Distribution. The giant African snail originates from coastal areas of Africa. In Asia-Pacific region, the snail is recorded from India, Sri Lanka, Japan, Malaysia, and its range is still expanding. Description. The fully grown giant African snail consists of 7 to 9 whorls, which is moderately swollen body whorl and has a sharply conical spire. All whorls are dividedly convex due to the broadly impressed sutures. The snail can be reached up to 20 cm in length and 12 cm in diameter. The normal lifespan of giant African snail is 3 to 5 years, but some may live long as 9 years. The snail reaches sexual maturity in less than a year. Giant African snail is a simultaneous hermaphrodite, which means each individual is capable of producing both sperm and ova. It can lay within 8 to 20 days after copulation, usually among leaves and stones on the ground surface. These snails lay up to 100 eggs in first year and up to 500 eggs in second year. In tropical humid condition, egg can hatch out after 11 days. Giant African snail is capable of estivation for 3 years in times of extreme drought. In this image, you can see a giant African snail laying its eggs. In second image, you can see a baby giant African snail creeping on the foreslip of another snail. Diet. In the wild, they eat a wide variety of foods: fallen fruit, rotting vegetation, decaying wood, leaf litter, plants, dead animals, grasses, etc. Giant African land snails are not fussy eaters by nature. These snails will eat anything they come across. It may be paint, concrete, leaves, woods, vegetables, etc. Behavior. The giant African land snail is a nocturnal animal, that is, an animal that is active and awake throughout the night and inactive during daytime. The snail can bury itself deep into the soil to prevent overheating or overcooling. These snails lack a sense of hearing, but snails' organ of smell is sharp and strong, and it's aid a swift discovery of mates, food source, predators, and threats. Habitat. Giant African snail commonly found in countries with a tropical warm humid climate. This species occurs in agricultural areas, wetlands, shrublands, and urban areas, etc. These snails remain active at temperature ranges from 9 degrees Celsius to 29 degrees Celsius. It survives temperature of 2 degrees Celsius by hibernation. It is killed by sunshine. Uses. In some countries such as Malaysia, Japan, these snails is consumed as a food and also used for medicinal and research purposes. It contributes to the degradation of animal matter. Threats and damages. Giant African snail, highly invasive, adaptable creatures that constitute a significant threat to agricultural crops, natural resources, and human health. Giant African snail is a microphytophagous herbivore, and it is also eats sand, very small stones, and concrete as a source of calcium. It is a threat to native snail and native ecosystem by altering the food chain. This voracious snail feeds on vegetables and it also attacks plantations of coffee, rubber, tea, etc. These snails can become carriers of Angiostronglus cantinosis, a parasitic worm. If a snail is dropping from the rat also carries the disease. Infection by rat lungworm, as it more commonly called, can cause meningitis in human. Here you can see a news report which reported by Times of India, reveals that this giant African snail threat to crops and human too. Here you can see African snail feeding on plantain crops. After its presence, it may lead to the complete destruction of crops. Prevention. Hand collection and destruction will be effective during early phase of infestation. Cut piece of papaya stem may be placed for attracting and trapping the snails. Use wet gunny bags and papaya leaves as bait to collect and destroy them. Marigold can be raised as a trap crop around vegetable fields. Lime or bleaching powder may be sprinkled in the infested areas. Common salt may be also spreaded. Chemical control involves using metaldehyde, methotrap, or a combination of these chemicals with other moxicides as bait formulation or foliar sprays. Creating awareness about various negative impacts of the snail can help stop the illegal import of giant African snail for trade and its international spread. Here in this image you can see the measures to how to collect, to destroy, to dispose of dead snails. Use gloves. Do not touch with bare hands. Destruction methods includes drone and bait. Drone in bleach or in salt. Bait, metaldehyde or iron phosphate or spray. Disposal of dead snails includes burn in a barrel or place in a garbage bag or bury 2 feet or deeper in the ground. These are the sites which I referred for this presentation. Thank you.